Yeah. There we go. Oh, there's more instruments.
Yeah, we got the washboard, we got the... some other stuff that we just...
We can play our stuff.
flute over here. I'm sure why we have it in this spot.
Yeah, I know. Beautiful.
Good.
What do you think I should do? You're already all sweaty. You haven't started. I learned that I did too. I'm really bad.
Good morning. Hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome to Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Lynn Hickson, and I'm a member of the board. It's my honor to welcome you here this morning on behalf of the board and the program council. Whether you are here in the building or watching online or watching this recording days later, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, and wherever you are on your journey. Earlier this week, I passed a church in Morristown that had a big banner in the front lawn that said, "Bible believers welcome here." My first thought was, seriously? And my second thought was, isn't it wonderful that Tennessee Valley welcomes the Bible skeptic and doubters along with the believers? Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome in this space. If you would like more information on our church, you can visit tvuuc.org and select Stay in Touch to complete the visitor information card. There's also a physical card in the seat back pocket in front of you. If you and your family are interested in our education programs, you can visit the religious exploration table in the art gallery area of the lobby. Just a couple of announcements today. On Tuesday, there will be a board meeting in the Lizzie Crozier-French room from 6 to 8. And next Sunday, May 26th, there will be a session of questions, which is your chance to ask questions about Unitarian Universalism, this church, or the meaning of life. Mark Mahundro is there to answer all those questions. And speaking of questions, if you're wondering how you can give to this church, here's Claudia.
Good morning. I am obviously shorter than Lynn, but I hope you guys can hear me well. I'm here as the Director of Finance and Operations. My name is Claudia Presley, and my job right now is to tell you guys how to give to our special offering today, which is a designated offering for Bridge Refugee Services. Wendy Sayer's going to come a little bit later in the service and tell you what Bridge does, why they do it, why it's important for your contributions to come in to that organization. But right now, let me just say, if you're here in the building, there are offering baskets back on the end of the choir railing. You can place checks or cash in those. There's a credit card and debit card giving kiosk out in the lobby. If you're watching online, there should be a give or give now button or bar. You can click that and go to our secure giving site. If you like text giving, you can text to the number 73256, type in TVUUC and the amount that you would like to give. If you are even more technical, there are some QR codes around the building. Point your phone at it, take a picture, it'll immediately pop up to our giving site. So thanks so much for being with us. Have a wonderful service.
There are also more announcements located in the order of service, so please be sure and read through that before you recycle that today. And after the service is concluded, please join us for coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall, and be sure to visit the program council tables that are set up there to learn more information about the great programs in this church. And now, if you've not already done so, please silence all of your electronic devices as we enter into worship together.
Good morning. Our musical meditation was composed by Melanie Hélène Bonny. During her lifetime, it was unusual for a woman to compose and publish music. The path she followed was challenging and is a Her Scenes in a Forest is reminiscent of a scene from Arthurian legend. The knights encountered a dark and mysterious forest while searching for the Holy Grail. Rather than entering together, each knight chose to venture into the woods alone, seeking the point that seemed darkest and most challenging to them. Take this time to meditate on how our paths often lead through the shadows, where courage is rewarded with self-discovery.
Today, we will consider the practice and performance of music as an aid in personal development and community building. Practicing music is a barter where we exchange many years of strife for moments of beauty. When you take up the time commitment of learning music, you give up something else you might have been. But in the practice, you discover a magic within yourself. In the words of the poet Sara Teasdale, life has loveliness to sell. Buy it and never count the cost. The barter we make as we light this chalice is oil for light. The barter we make by spending time here today is to build community. May our acts of love and service spread in our community in ever-widening circles as this chalice light ripples through the room. Come, let us worship together. Love is the service of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our great covenant. Please remain standing as we sing hymn number 368. Now let us sing.
Who taught music. One tool he invented to make learning music a little easier was called solfege. Can you guys say solfege? Solfege! Yes. Yes. He noticed that this song started the first line, let's all stand, the first line and the first note of the scale. Good. Then he noticed that the second line started with the second note. notice that the third line started with the third note? So if that was the third, and then the fourth was to follow, what do you all think followed four? Exactly, the fifth note. And after five? Six. After six? No, we actually went backwards. That was a trick question. So we go to so. Yes. So this wasn't a perfect song for teaching solfege, but solfege hadn't really been invented yet. So we don't use the first part of the first word of the first 6 lines to name those notes. So we'll start with la. La. Good. La, sol, fa, mi, re, ut. That sounds right? No. Ut doesn't sound very pretty. It's not really very easy to sing. And this note, it didn't even have a name yet. Poor T. But 1,000 years later, we have a great song for helping to teach solfege. So let's do that. Do, a deer, a female deer, ray, a tropical sun, be a name I call myself, follow my way to run, so holy prayer, long no to follow so, tea and drink with jam and
Barter by Sara Teasdale. Life has loveliness to sell, all beautiful and splendid things. Blue waves whitened on a cliff, soaring fire that sways and sings, and children's faces looking up, holding wonder like a cup. Life has loveliness to sell, music like a curve of gold, scent of pine trees in the rain, eyes that love you, arms that hold, and for your spirit still delight, holy thoughts that star the night. Spend all you have for loveliness. Buy it and never count the cost. For one white singing hour of peace, count many a year of strife well lost. And for a breath of ecstasy, give all you have been or could be.
Please join us in singing Music Alone Shall Live. It is an insert in your order of service.
Okay, the melody goes like this. All things shall perish from under the sky. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Never to die. All together again. Who shall perish under the sky? Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Never to again. Ready, go. All things shall perish under the sky. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Music alone. Now, as a round, over here first. All things shall perish from under the sky. Now over here. All things shall perish from under the sky. All things shall perish. Again, keep going. From the top. All things shall perish from under the sky. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Music alone shall live. Never to die. Yay.
The reading is part of a poem by Grace Schulman entitled The Broken String, not spring, as is in your order of service. String. When Isaac Perlman raised his violin and felt the string snap, he sank and looked down at legs unfit to stand and cross the stage for a replacement. He bowed to the maestro, played radiant chords, and finished the concerto with the strings that he had. Rage forced low notes as this surf crashes on rock, turns and lifts. Later, he smiled and said, It's what you do. Not just play the score, but make new music with what you have. Then with what you have left. With what you have left.
So we heard a minuet, which was a dance. We sang a waltzy hymn, and this courant is part of a group of dances. It's a type of dance that wasn't intended to be danced to, but to give you the feeling of dancing in a particular style. And so during this time, meditate on the idea of how music lets you connect with your body and think in a physical, dancing way, even if your body can't dance now.
It's a French dance, and courant means running in French.
after that we could just go home. So I am Carolyn Rogers. I am a member of the spiritual care team, and there are 8 of us who are here for you, trained volunteers. Some of us are professional, and a lot of us have a lot of experience. Our conversations are always held in confidence unless we have your permission to share. And you can call or text on the pastoral care line, which is on the back of the order service. Calling or texting, either is fine. Or you can stop me after the service and I can connect you with somebody. So, Cynthia Crosby-Myers is happy to report that since her TIA 10 days ago, I believe it was, her balance is good, her double vision is gone, and although she's tired, she's building back her stamina. And to prove this point, you can see her yourself this afternoon at 3 p.m. at Bearden Middle School as she plays her trumpet with the Knoxville Concert Band. So, yay for you, Cynthia. Doris Gove tells me she is lucky that her eyes and brain are functioning well. Last week, while walking 2 dogs she was caring for, one of them bolted and literally launched her into the air. You can guess where she landed. Face plant later, after having 2 teeth replaced, nursing her jaw and shoulder, getting new glasses, she feels lucky. She feels lucky that her eyes and brain are still functioning well. She is so grateful for the neighbors who walked her home, and that Jeff, who is recovering from knee surgery, is able to do more on his own now. So thank you to the friends who are supporting her in this really crazy time. Our dear Bill Dabbs shares that his mother, Lottie Wren Dabbs, passed away last Sunday at the age of 99, leaving her 3 children, 11 grandchildren, and 17 great-grandchildren. Both of his sisters were with her at her home near Memphis. She's been declining a lot over the last 4 years, and he was glad to have been able to see her often during that time. So Friday night at the Knoxville Symphony, Bill Pierce was recognized for having played viola with the symphony for 40 years. That is quite an accomplishment. And we send out many thanks to John Montgomery, who donated 4 new music stands to make larger ensembles like today more possible. So, thank you, John. We carry in our hearts families who are dealing with the effects of cancer, as well as the joy of having the family together. We carry in our hearts those living with memory loss and their gratitude for support from friends and community. And we're grateful to many of you who are not officially on a committee, but who quietly call and visit and provide food and rides to so many of the rest of us. If you're interested in being on a call list to be approached for any of that, please contact me about your availability. And this joy came in to me this morning, and when I read it out loud to Paul, I cried, so bear with me here. This is a joy. Suzanne and Jim Hartzell's 8-year-old granddaughter, McKinley, has been fighting acute leukemia for 2 years. She's had chemotherapy, which failed to eradicate the cancer. She underwent a bone marrow transplant just earlier this year. She has spent the last 7 months, 8 years old, at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, some of that time in isolation, back and forth between the hospital and the Ronald McDonald House. This week, a monumental milestone was reached. A bone marrow biopsy proved that all of McKinley's bone marrow cells are healthy donor cells. Which means that this courageous and creative little girl gets to return home to her 3 younger siblings and her parents, Zane and Carolyn, along with Jim and Suzanne. We rejoice in this news and wish the very best for the whole family in the weeks and months ahead. So speaking of joy and earlier volunteers, look around and be glad for all of these TVUUC musicians who volunteer to share the joy of music to you today. So I'll leave you with these thoughts. Stop by the caring table and sign cards. Text someone you're thinking of them. And join me in singing to all of these and those held in privacy.
Colin's chant reflects his journey from fear and weakness to embracing life and the magic within himself. It symbolizes healing, both physical and mentally, as he discovers the transformative power of positive thoughts and the natural world. The sun is shining. The sun is shining. That is the magic. The flowers are growing. The roots are stirring. That is the magic. Being alive is the magic. Being strong is the magic. The magic is in me. The magic is in me. It is in me. It is in every one of us.
The
The 19th century composer Debussy said that music is the space between the notes. Later in 1952, composer John Cage took this to an extreme. He had the nerve to notate a musical score of silence in 3 silent movements. We're going to play one of them for you today. This can seem silly to perform silence, but John Cage knew that the silence he notated would not be experienced as silence by the audience. And performing silence reveals a very specific listening experience, the experience of hearing the sound of a place. So whatever sounds are around us and from us, traffic, planes, breathing, children playing, it's the sound of our community in this space. May our performance today be an invitation to meditate on the sound of our community in this space and the importance of listening without taking anything too seriously.
Good morning. I sort of hate to break the silence. I am Wendy Sire, as Claudia said. As Claudia mentioned, today's offering will be split with half going to the church and half to Bridge Refugee Services. As many of you know, members of this church have been linked to a Congolese family for 7 years now. We originally met them through Bridge and have become good friends. In fact, yesterday, we all got together and celebrated the daughter's graduation from Austin East High School. When I met her 7 years ago, she had not had any school at all. Now our family's even bringing in their friends to get our help, sort of farming us out to all their friends to help them out. But today's offering is not going to any one specific family. Instead, it's being given directly to Bridge to be used as they see fit, helping refugee families that have recently arrived. These are people who have been admitted to the U.S. legally after extensive screening outside the United States. Refugee status is similar to, but it's not the same as the asylum status that you hear about in the news that is sought by so many at the border these days. Refugee families have usually fled countries at war or in turmoil, such as the Democratic Republic of Congo or Ukraine more recently. Many of these refugees, especially those from Africa and the Middle East, have spent as many as 10 years or more in a refugee camp. Many of the kids are actually born in the camp, lived all their lives there. They often speak no English. They have virtually no financial resources after 10 years in a camp. The kids have had little or no school, and they may be assigned, the Refugee Services finds a community for them. They may be assigned to a community where they don't know anybody. You can imagine how hard it is to be plunked down in a community and how hard those first few months are in their lives while they get settled. The number of refugees admitted to the U.S. in recent years has greatly increased, and Knoxville has become a destination, popular destination for many of them because of the excellent services provided by Bridge. Bridge has a very good reputation, so they send a lot of refugees here. Bridge has expanded to meet the needs of all these newcomers, giving advice and assistance, finding housing for them, and jobs, filing government applications, and on and on and on. But they don't have that much money to give them, so the families often need some cash to help them through the first few months or the year. Our donations today will help Bridge provide the cash assistance to these clients. Thank you so much for your donations. If you have any questions, I actually will be at the caring table wearing another hat for a while after church until I take my Congolese daughter to Girl Scouts today. Thanks.
Hello. It is often said that music is a language. While it is passed on culturally and does have specific meanings within cultures, it doesn't usually carry specific meanings like nouns and verbs do. A more apt comparison is to the languages through which our bodies receive and communicate through the senses. For example, a particular smell can mean danger or safety, or something is tasty. The sensation of a texture can be pleasing or disgusting. Such senses can warn us of danger or prepare us for opportunities that we haven't noticed with our thinking minds. The feeling of vibrations in the ground could be a reason to run, while the vibrations of a cat's purr is believed to be literally healing. Embodied cognition has become a buzzword in the field of AI-powered robotics as it expands into the mainstream. A major hope expressed by many of these researchers is that by giving AI the experiences of a body, they will learn consciousness and compassion and therefore share goals with us. Regardless of the fears we may hold about the role of robots in our future, this idea that experiencing a body in the physical world and in community has deep roots in the religious experience. For an example from my personal experience growing up in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I was taught that we all existed before this earth as bodiless intelligences. We believed that being born on the earth into a body was a natural step in our progression in order to learn to use our bodies responsibly within community. This belief within a religious practice has historically led to body shaming and policing, but it also offers the hope of a shared communal compassion and shared wisdom. So what does Eliot's theology and unproven theories about artificial intelligence have to do with a music-centered Unitarian service? It comes back to the saying that music is a language. Spoken language has the power to communicate specific ideas concretely or to create feelings through poetry and storytelling like we heard today. In the latter, it is the ambiguity of meaning that makes poetry and storytelling more meaningful because individuals can find their own meaning. Music is much more ambiguous about concrete ideas, but it has the power to create specific bodily experiences of feelings that can then be shared directly with many people at the same time or even across time, while allowing for much greater freedom in finding personal meaning in the experience. In the safe context of a musical experience, we can examine our feelings of fear or loss. We can seek resolution or acceptance. Likewise, it provides a space where we can revel in shared joy and beauty, knowing that our experience of the world is shared with other like minds. So while we sing this hymn, please remain seated for the first 3 verses. It's a long hymn. Stand up for the last 2 in body or spirit.
or could be for music, like a curve of gold, for eyes that love you and arms that hold, for children's faces looking up, holding wonder like a cup, for one singing hour of peace, for the world that awaits your liberating ministry. Go forward in the power of love. Proclaim the truth that makes us free. As our last act of worship, I invite you to turn and greet your neighbor.